Hello, welcome to me, Melech, uh, Bible study number one. We're going to start, this is going to start with Isaiah number one and how it refers to Isaiah number nine, and possibly go into the Quran where it attaches to giving Israel the power and authority over Israel, and where the ones that wreak havoc and do terrorism can be smoted. So let's start here with Isaiah chapter 1. The vision of Isaiah. So this is a vision. So the vision of Isaiah the son of Amoz, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah. Mentions 4 kings, and again 4 kings in Revelations. It mentions the 4 pillars with the one in the middle. So 4 kings would mean that there'd have to be 4 kingly lines to go back to King Solomon. So there's always multiple things. Scriptures mean this, that, and or the other thing. You always want to listen and ask who, what, where, when, how, and who. Or yeah, you get the picture. So, all right, chapter 1, 2. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider. Ah, a sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel into anger. They are gone away backwards. So you got to understand that, working towards it, but America, the U.S., is Metatron, which is New Jerusalem, or New Israel, because there's 2 Israels it mentions. And so our people, our children have gotten corrupted, and they're getting, I'm talking to the Sodom lights, they're getting corrupted. They don't even know how to talk to a real person anymore. So you get the idea on that one. Let's not get off here. So this is talking about America, the new Israel, the new Jerusalem. We are our country is based on the laws of Moses. And so now that we've turned against it, there's no more Pledge of Allegiance. It's gone right down sewer real quick, hasn't it? No more. It's got to come back to one nation under God. I want to get one world under God. I mean, there's no reason to have war. I'd rather have Star Trek ending, plant seeds on other planets. All right, so this is talking to also to Israel and the people of Israel in like Hollywood, that are furnishing these bad ideas and bad thoughts that are going into our children's minds. So there's several sides to Israel too, and we'll get to that. They would probably be part of the tale because they're telling tales, right? We'll work there. So, chapter 1, Isaiah chapter 1, 5. Why should ye be stricken any more? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faint. From the sole of the foot even into the head there is no soundness in it, but the wounds and the bruisedness and purifying sores. So, this is also talking about everybody walking around on asphalt, I'll get to that too. But we fall down, we get hurt, we get skinned. It's also talking. This means multiple things. Israel right now has got sores, open wounds, petrifying sores, and they have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. The prisoners haven't been returned yet. So, your country is desolate, your cities are burned with fire, your land strangers devour it in your presence, and it is desolate, as overthrown by strangers. So just like America's borders are open, Israel's being attacked at the same time. So both New and Old Jerusalem, TikTok, okay, and Isaiah 1:8. And the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge in the garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. So just as in reality. But if you apply this back to Jesus' daughter, it would point out the prophecy of Jesus' daughter being Titus's mother at childhood would have had to have been raped like at 10 years old by these emperors who didn't care how, really. How old was Nikolai when Solomon was told, no, don't do it? So, these emperors, they think they can just do anybody back then. Even nowadays, they think so. But this is what I base my thought that Titus was a Nephilim, because the daughter of Jesus would have been daughter of Zion, is left as a cottage in a vineyard. These big, giant, brutal leaders, and Pilate was, like brother or cousin or nephew or something. He was in the family. So, 9. Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant. So here it's referring to the United States. So the Lord of hosts left to the United States, which is New Jerusalem or New Israel, and a very small remnant. So here it's referring to, this is where the second coming is going to be, prophetically. And it's also talking about before the first coming. So it's got the dual meaning. We should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. So if it wasn't for God putting me in America, America would be smoted out of existence right now. God's really upset at New Jerusalem, New Israel, or as the Book of Enoch calls them, Metatron. Hear the word of the Lord, ye rulers of Sodom, give ear unto the law of our God, ye people of Gomorrah. So Sodom and Gomorrah has multiple meanings too. You got, what's this? What does you do in Sodom? You're a sodomite. So it's talking about watching computers, TVs, cell phones, and you're so dumb you got to get more of that light, more raw. Raw is that light. So you're getting a rush, raw, rush. Get more light of Sodom. So you're staring more and more at the cell phone rather than having a real life. You just walk around always staring at the cell phone. Can't get home fast enough to watch television, kick back. And so this is talking about all of us. Every last one of us on the planet, we've all fallen to the occult. Cultivating oil. And we've all got to make better choices like hemp seed oil, which has a byproduct of food. No pollution, extra air, solves all the problems of the world. No more global warming because we're replacing the air with good air. We're changing the diluting out this stuff that the cars are putting out there. And eventually it could take over not having to burn so much gasoline, just use it in the jets or something. But it's not going to put a crap of style on anything now. But so now we got Sodom and Gomorrah. This is also talking about, like looking at history, the church that wants to get more gold, more of that light, that fun, and they take advantage of people that are dumb. And then blame the patriarch. That wasn't the patriarch. The patriarch can only fire bad politicians. They don't necessarily put them in there. So, blaming the one that's fired a politician and that politician went off and started an army and came back, look at what you do. You're so dumb, you're going to blame the wrong people. And, look into the history books. England attacked and got all your food back then, and that's what caused it in France. So, transparency, so you don't have this problem, is what I agree. Yellow vest. That's my responsibility too. Okay, so, where were we here? Okay, we defined Sodom and Gomorrah. Those dopamine levels when you stare at those screens and they go blink, blink, blink. That's a drug addiction. It's a serious drug addiction. So don't think that staring at your screens that you're not a drug addict. We all have to work on these things. Go back to living a real life. All right, Isaiah 11. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me, saith the Lord? I am full of the burnt offerings of ram and the fat of fed beasts, and I delight not in the blood of bullocks, or of lambs, or of he-goats. When ye come to appear before me, who hath required this at your hand, to tread my courts? Really? Who? 13. Bring no more vain obligations. Incense is an abomination unto me. The new moons and the Sabbaths, the calling of assemblies, I cannot away with. It is iniquity, even the solemn meeting. Your new moons and your appointed feasts my soul hateth. They are a trouble unto me. I am weary to bear them. And when ye spread forth your hands, I will hide my hands from you. Yea, when ye make many prayers, I will not hear. Your hands are full of blood. Wash you, make you clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil. So this is talking about, like in Romans, where it's saying, start working on your mind, clean out the stuff. Might take years, could take 7 years, but you got to keep working and keep cleaning your mind out, and just keep plugging away, and God will provide. "17. Learn to do well, seek judgment, relieve the oppressed, judge the fatherless, plead for the widow. Come now." And I'd like to point out, does that sound like what is happening these days? It seems like they're taking advantage of the widow and the fatherless. They're not relieving the oppressed, they're repressing the oppressed. So that goes back to what the last page just said, because that's what's happening again now, and probably more places than just here in the United States, I would imagine, since God is telling me that this is where I start our journey on explaining where I stand. Well, actually explaining Revelations, Daniel, and the whole apocalypse, which takes 200 years from the time that the mummies were raised from the dead, were raised, that Napoleon raised from the dead. Okay. 18. Come now, and let us reason together, saith the Lord. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool. If ye be willing and obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land. But if ye refuse and rebel, ye shall be devoured with the sword. For the mouth of the Lord hath spoken it. So this is also talking to, this is also meaning more than one thing, being that it's also talking to Palestine, because they live in Israel. And they've got a choice to either be the adopted 13th tribe and surrender, or they've got what the Quran says on page 258 to do to the terrorists who won't surrender, who just keep making mischief and kidnapping and raping children. They have to go. But that's what the Quran says. We'll get into that one here, but we're working up there. But it's talking to all parties involved at the table here. Also, Iran is Palestine. I don't see any difference between the terrorists and the terrorists. It says the god of war, Ares, the evil one, the death worshippers who actually hate everything, and all they preach is hatred. They shirk everything in the Quran, everything in the Bible, everything in the Torah. Shameful. So, 21. How is the faithful city become a harlot? It was full of judgment, righteous lodged in it, but now murderers. Thy silver has become dross, thy wine mixed with water. Thy princes are rebellious and companions of thieves. Every one loveth gifts and falleth after rewards. They judge not the fatherless, neither doth the cause of the widow come unto them. So, thieves, it appears that God already knew that, Palestine does have some grievances that are valid and should be recognized. So, where was I here? Oh, yeah, but now murderers. So, murdering to take other people's stuff, no matter where. I mean, that's what the United States is doing too. Trying to look, long history of it. It's time to get some morals and come back to God. So thy silver is become dross, thy wine mixed with water, thy princes. Oh, I already. Okay. 24. Therefore saith the Lord of hosts, the mighty one of Israel, I will ease me of mine adversaries. So, the Lord God, the Lord of hosts, the mighty one of Israel. So the Lord of hosts says the mighty one of Israel, son of David, me, of mine, God's, the Lord of hosts, and me, the duality, mine, ours, we, our adversaries, Allah, the Lord of God, Allah. Allah is defined as the Holy Trinity here, forgiving, loving, and truthful, even though the truth hurts, loving, forgiving, and truthful, even though the truth hurts. It's the same thing. The last chapter in the Quran, 114, says the Holy Trinity, so you're supposed to plug in the New Testament. If somebody's a fool enough not to, their ignorance is not going to save them. And avenge me, again, me, not the Lord of hosts, but the mighty one of Israel, the son of David, of mine enemies. So, remember, I inherit my name from my father, Yahshua, so it would be Yeshua. And I will turn my hand upon thee, and purely purge away thy dross, and take away all thy tin. And I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at the beginning. Afterward thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. Now, this is talking about, getting full transparency in America with our government, no more shady deals, and it's also talking about Jerusalem itself in Israel being the most holy city in the world, and people not swearing and being righteous, especially there. If you can't live with being righteous, then get the hell out of Jerusalem. I mean, you've got this much time left. This is, God's time here before 2028 Easter. And we've got the 32nd mark, June. Oh, wait. We got February 17th. Got the April 8th eclipse. Got June 23rd is the 32nd mark. And something's going to happen on every one of these marks. And we got October 27th, and I'm going to count off July 6th, March 12th, November 26th, 2026, August 6th, 2027, and then April 16th, 2028. Straight up and down there, noon. The new day dawns. So anyway, back to this. I shouldn't have gotten sidetracked. I'm sorry. So Zion shall be redeemed with judgment, and her converts with righteousness, and the destruction of the transgressors and the sinners shall be together, and they that forsake the Lord shall be consumed. For they shall be ashamed of the oaks which ye have desired, and ye shall be confounded for the gardens that ye have chosen. And if you look around the gardens, everybody's chosen is asphalt everywhere, the Dead Sea, everywhere you look. And the gardens, you've cut trees down, you've covered them in excrement, and you've stuck them in asphalt. And an asphalt, what do you call an asphalt? It's pretty gross. And then when you bundle them together with wire, a bundle of sticks bundled together with wire, what's that called? Is that the God that we should be worshiping? $29. Oh yeah, I just read that. Okay. 30. For ye shall be as an oak whose leaf fadeth, and as a garden that hath no water. And the strong shall be as tow, and the maker of it as a spark. And they shall both burn together, and none shall quench them. So, chapter 2. And the word that Isaiah the son of Amos concerning Judah and Jerusalem, and it shall come to pass in the last days. So they don't have chapters when it's written there. They just add that. So this is the last days. Like now, we've got 5 minutes left. A little less than 5 minutes. Or no, 5.5 minutes is coming up in what? Oh no, 6 minute mark, February 17th. Oh. So yeah, it's not good to test the Lord. So what's going to happen then? Remember what happened on the last 30-second mark? Daniel 12:11. So keep your 6, Israel. Keep your 6. I'll be explaining that one's coming up here. Okay. And the destruction of the transgressors and the sinners shall be together, and they that forsake the Lord shall be consumed. For they shall be ashamed of the oaks which ye have desired, and ye shall be confounded for the gardens of gardens that ye have chosen. Asphalt, the asphalt gardens. I already read that. Wait a minute. So okay. So it shall come to pass in the last days. That the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills. So, as it's saying here, in the last days, I will ease me of mine adversaries. So your adversaries are my adversaries if you're the United States or Israel. We're two sides of the same coin, New and Old Jerusalem. So this means, like, in our government, no more traitors and spies. We're going to be able to follow their stock, and we're going to be able to have cameras in there seeing that they don't take bribes. And if police officers can't get lunches bought for them, then that's definitely a bribe. Be able to watch them and listen to them for, 99 cents a day or something. You can listen to whatever person, and they'll get ratings on their popularity, You could get bonus paychecks for that. Really boring ones, anyway. So anyway, the destruction of the transgression. Prevention of the transgressions. Oh wait, I keep going back. Sorry, caught in the loop. So we're going to rebuild the temple, and all the nations shall flow into it. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob. And he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. So this also has double meanings. So it has meanings that the word of the Lord, meaning their king, being real in the flesh, and that they have one, will go on from Jerusalem, and their armies will have more faith and more cunning because they know what they're fighting for. They'll have more of God's power. So, and I'll just read a little bit of one other one here before that. He shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people. So, again, apologize for offending. Well, I don't apologize. I apologize for having to offend everybody or something like that. And if I don't offend you, then I'm not doing my job. So Isaiah 9. Oh wait, I forgot to refer it over here. So in Isaiah 1:24, I will ease me of mine adversaries and me of mine adversaries, enemies. So me, the son of David, the king of Israel, who is also, has the paperwork for the United States, that the Constitution and our Bill of Rights are based upon. Without it, you don't have a country. So we're in cahoots together here. I should say we're in bed together. We're married. So Isaiah 1:24, me, refers over here. Oh, and well, wait, I almost forgot that one. Isaiah 1:9. Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us, into the United States, a very small remnant. Because of that, it's safe. For now, we put that one under God back in there. So this 9, 1, 9, you got a 9 here, and you got 9:6. For unto us, unto the United States, a child is born. Unto us a son, the second coming, is given. And the government shall be upon his shoulders, meaning he's going to be the Shah of the island of Morocco, which is the Constitution is based upon. So here, with that in mind, I'll go back and read. I'm going to read everything in context here. Chapter 9, Isaiah. Nevertheless, the dimness shall not be such as was in her vexation, when at the first he lightly afflicted the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, and afterward did more grievously afflict her by the way of the sea, beyond Jordan, in the Galilee of the nations. So in the Galilee of the nations, is that United Nations and beyond the Jordan, would be what? Saudi Arabia. Huh. So anyway, number 2, chapter 9, number 2, Isaiah. The people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them hath the light shined. Yeah, I went to the valley of the shadow of death where the United Nations is. See right here, the nations, Galilee of Nations. In 19 and so 3. Thou hast multiplied the nation and not increased the joy. The joy before thee according to the joy in harvest. They joy before thee according to the joy in harvest. And as men, let me repeat that one twice, rejoice when they divide the spoil. So now the sex and everything is empty. They're just spoiled. The children are spoiled. People that run around, there's nothing special. Nothing means anything anymore. Everything's turned to pagan perversions. It's pretty point blank, huh? 4. For thou hast broken the yoke of his burden and the staff of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor, as in the day of Midian. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. So, garments, confusion and noise, that's talking about like the 3 people, the kidnapped victims that got free and they accidentally got shot. The warrior can be confused. That's things happen. 6 here. For unto us, the United States, a child is born. Unto us a son is given. Son, second son of the Lord God. You can have more than one. You have one, then the next one would be another one. Not the same body, and nowhere does it say that it's going to be in the same body. That was the first time. So here it's saying United Nations, Metatron, and the Son being born in us, the belly of the whale. And the government shall be upon his shoulders. That he's the Shah of the island of Morocco, that's North and South America. And the paperwork that the United States of America is based upon. And his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. I'd prefer not to be called God, but Mighty One. We'll go with 1. My secret number, secret agent number 1. 7. Of the increase of his government and the peace there shall be no end. So as you notice, Biden wasted $8 trillion to promote terrorism by pulling out of Afghanistan. It did cost $400 billion a year to keep peace there, but we didn't have this a quarter extra $8 trillion quarter of the U.S. debt, and we didn't have this problem with fentanyl. Thanks. What a work of art. So the more stable, the more unstable we are, both nations, new Israel and old Israel, one falls, the other falls. If we fall, the world's gone. So, but if we're strong, there'll be no end here. So the increase of his government and the peace, there shall be no end. So upon the throne of David, again, David, and upon his kingdom to order it, and to establish it with judgment and with justice, from henceforth even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. The Lord sent a word unto Jacob, and it hath lighted upon Israel. So, Lord sent a word. I've got DNA, and it has lighted upon Israel. They should have woken up by now. This is the anniversary of when Martin Luther King Day, when I first contacted, 6th anniversary, or 6 years ago. Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu. So, 9. And all the people shall know, even Ephraim, and the inhabitants of Samaria, that say in pride and stoutness of heart, the bricks are fallen down, but we will build with new stones. The sycamores are cut down, but we will change them into cedars. Therefore the Lord shall set up adversaries of reason against him, and join his enemies together. 12. The Syrians before, and the Philistines behind. So, as we're in Daniel 12, after Daniel 12:12, and the 6.5 minute mark when the Philistines attacked. So the Philistines have attacked us in the past, behind, but the Syrians are before us. They're threatening, and they're firing missiles and whatnot.